So for example, like if you run a business, right? You want to generate the most profit that's possible, right? So as much as you can. So that's the maximum, okay? And then when you want to, for example, like driving, okay, you want to lower your cost of your gas, right? Minimum as possible. When you have fixed like resources, okay. So also like if you want to build something, for example, you have fence, okay, a fence, and then you want to surround an area and then try to surround it with as big as possible the area you can do, right, using limited amount of fence. So something like this, right? You have to use parabola, try to make a model, and then figure out what's the best scenario. So in general, we call that optimization, okay? Make the best out of what you have. So of course, before we can actually apply to those scenarios, we need to start with something simple, okay? Just finding numbers and without using the story too complicated, okay? So we'll start with this page 38. This one is just finding the numbers. And inside it also mentioned about maximum and minimum, okay? So once you're able to figure out these kind of questions, then we can apply to other scenario with stories like profit, cost, okay? So like on the next page, right, we have amusement park. And then we also have, this is selling shirts, right? And then we have areas problem, okay? Question 8, right? That's all. Okay, so let's look at question A first. So here we want to find numbers, okay? Pretty straightforward. We are looking for numbers. Okay, so of course they give you some information about what numbers you want to find, okay, some clues. So let's have one of you to read it out. Okay, Henry, can you read out question A?
Okay, two numbers have a difference of 8. Their product is a minimum.
Okay, so is there any word that you are not sure what it means? Yeah, Henry?
So when it says their product is a minimum, that means like the smallest number, right?
Yeah, minimum means the smallest. Let's write that down. Any other words?
Nope.
Okay, what does product mean?
The answer of multiplication.
Yeah, so multiplying, right? When you multiply the two numbers together, it should be the smallest. What about difference?
It is the amount between the two numbers. So if you subtract one and another, then that's the difference.
Okay, so it will be the answer of subtraction. Okay, very good. Thank you, Henry.
Yeah.
So two numbers, you must make sure they subtract equal to 8. And when you multiply the two numbers, you want to make it as small as possible. Okay, so to demonstrate with some examples, right, we will make a table. Okay, so you guys can draw the table like that. You have the first number, you have the second number, okay. First condition, right, they must have a difference of 8. So anyone, okay, can you give me two numbers when they subtract equals to 8? Okay, so Wilson, can you give me two numbers? Their difference is 8. Wilson, cannot hear you.
Oh, I have a question. So when it says like difference of 8, does that mean like one number, if one number is subtracted by another, the final answer is 8?
Yep.
Then 20 and 12.
20 and 12. Okay, very good. Don't turn off your mic yet. Okay.
Okay.
12. And also the second condition is we want their product to be minimum. Okay. What does product mean?
Multiply.
Okay, so let's get their product. Can you tell us what's the product for the two numbers you chose?
Is it 240?
Okay, so 240. All right. So right now we have a 240. Can we find other pairs of numbers? So then the product is smaller, right? Because we want to get it as small as possible.
12 and 4?
12 and 4. Okay. Do they have a difference of 8?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's their product?
48.
Oh, much smaller now, right?
Right.
Good. Okay. Thank you, Wilson. Okay.
Yeah. No
Can
worries.
anyone else beat this product? Make it even smaller. Any other pairs? Anyone?
10 and 2.
10 and 2. Let's try that, Angel. Okay. So 10 and 2. So their product will be what? Angel?
20.
20. Oh, even smaller than 48. Okay. So far, Angel is the winner. Okay. Anya, what's yours?
9 and 1.
9 and 1. Okay. 9 subtract 1 is 8. Good. 9 times 1 is 9. Even better. Okay. So of course we can keep on guessing. So far the 9 and 1 is our champion. Right? But is that the one that makes it minimum? That's what we want to find out. Okay. So that's our goal, right? So it looks like it's 9 and 1 at the moment. Okay. We'll see if it's if we can find something even smaller. So to start a question like this, we need to have some variable because these are all changing numbers, right? Variable means changing. So I'm going to let something that you want to make it minimum, right? You can highlight this, right? Remember, minimum value is the lowest, right? Maximum value will be the highest. So whenever you have highest, lowest, you use the Y to represent, okay? We want the product to be minimum. So our product is the Y. That's how you choose, okay? So this is the Y. Okay, and then the other two numbers, you can call it M and N. Okay, so we start. Your first step is to write the let statement. Okay, let product to be the Y. Let the first number be M. Second number be N. Okay, because you have two numbers to find. Okay, so that's your step one. Can you raise your hand after you finish writing the table and the let statement down? Okay, I'll wait for you. So remember, our goal is to try to find two numbers keeping the difference of 8, but at the same time making the product as small as possible. Oh, okay, so Kat is saying 8 and 0. Okay, so she's giving it another try. 8 and 0. Yeah, it has a difference of 8. They multiply equals to 0. Ah, even better, right? Smaller than 9. Okay, so far that's the winner. Yes, you won. Okay. Everyone copy the table down. Okay, please raise your hand. Okay, so now how do we set up the quadratic function from here? So we just follow the sentence, follow the question, right? It tells you that their product, so which is Y, right? All right, Y. Okay, let me try one more time. Product, I'll write the words, okay? So you know where it comes from. Product is minimum. Product is minimum. Okay, from this sentence, we can write the equation. Product, which is y, is minimum. Minimum product means you multiply the two numbers, right? So it'll be m times n. Okay. But then right now we have three variables here. Okay. In our quadratic function that we learned before, it's always two variables, just x and y. But now we have y, m, and n. Right? We have three variables, so we cannot do that. We need to do something else. So the other information is the two numbers has a difference of 8. Okay. Difference of 8. So from that sentence, we can write m minus n has to be 8. Does that make sense so far? Right? We're just translating the equation, the question, right? Product is minimum. Okay, so y is m times n. Difference of 8. So m minus n equal to 8. So using that, using the right hand side, okay, let me draw a line. Okay, using the right hand side, I could isolate one of the variable. Okay, so let's say I isolate the m. M is easier to isolate, right? So isolate the m. So m will equal to 8 plus n. Any questions so far? Okay, so once we've done that, what we can do is to replace the m and sub it into there. Okay, a plus n is going to replace the m. So then you don't have so many variables in our equation, right? So we would have y equals to 8 plus n times by n. Okay, can you raise your hand if you have no trouble so far? Okay, so the n is the kind of like the x. Okay, the y is just like the y we've done before. That's the minimum value that we want to get. But instead of x, we have n here. So it's the variable between n and y. Okay, product, you write y equal mn. Difference, you write m minus n. Okay, please raise your hand if you're done. So your step 1 is to write the let statement. Step 2 is try to figure out the function. Okay, quadratic function. Okay, Kat and Naomi and Tony, have you finished writing it down? Okay, so now from here, our goal is just try to figure out the our vertex, okay? Because we want to find out the minimum place, right, for this problem. So we need to turn it into general form, okay? We'll expand the bracket, okay? So you get n squared plus 8n. So this is general form. Okay, we used to deal with just x and y. Now it's n and y, it's the same thing, okay? Just different variable. And then we turn into standard form. Factor a, right? Divide by 2. Don't forget that, right? Balance. And then nothing to add behind. Okay, please write down the general standard form and raise your hand. Okay. So our standard form, which you could also call it a vertex form, right? Because it tells you the vertex. All right, so Bernice, what's the vertex form? Standard form.
Y equals n plus 4 squared minus 16.
Okay, remember square should be outside, minus 16. Okay, 1 can be invisible. Okay. All right, if you finish, please raise your hand. Mackenzie, Shanier, Tony, and Wilson. Okay, so we got our form here, right? So we need to interpret what it tells us because it's a word problem, right? We are not really graphing it. So from here, we can tell our APQ, right? Like before. A is 1. Okay, what's the value of P, Wilson?
So P is it 4?
No.
Is it -4?
Yeah, it should be -4.
Yeah.
Okay? If it's a +4, it should be -4. What about Q?
-16.
Yeah, okay. The Q, you don't need to change sign. Okay, it's a P. Be careful. So from here, we know that here we have a vertex at, okay, where's the vertex, Valerie?
-4, -16.
-4, -16. Okay, so we have, now we want to connect this to the word problem now, okay? The two variable that we have, if you look at the highlight here, okay, the initial equation that we formed, okay, I highlight here, right, the yellow part. The two variable we have is n and y. So your vertex represents the n and the y. Okay, and this one is open up, right? Because A is positive. So you have an open up vertex, right? Because it opens up, it should be a minimum. So we have a minimum value of -6, which happens at n equal to 4. Okay, I don't have space to write that down. Okay, I'm gonna put it up here as our conclusion. Okay, so let me draw a box up here. Okay, so from there we can write down the minimum value is -16. Okay, because it opens up, it gives you a minimum, and minimum value is the y value, right? It's the q. So, and when n equal to -4, and n, if you look at the last statement, okay, n represents the second number, right? And then if you want to find the first number, it tells you n, like over here, I'll put a star. To get the first number, it's 8 plus n, right? Because they need to make a difference of 8. Okay. So therefore, the two numbers are -4 and 4. Okay, -4 is the n. So -4 plus 8 is 4. Okay. So if you look at the chart, right? Before, I think it was Kat, right? She said 8 and 0. So now we found an even better, even lower value, right? If it's 4 is our first number, our -4 will be the other number, right? So we never try the negative ones. 4 times -4 give you -16. This is our winner. Let's give it a crown. Okay, do we have any questions? So if we do guess and check, right? We probably will miss the using the negative sign to try. Any question on this one? How we get the answer? Usually we just stop at vertex, right? And then do the graph, but then we need to connect our vertex to the problem. Okay. Step 1 is to write the last statement. Step 2 is to get the function. Step 3, you need to interpret. That's the hardest part. You need to be able to answer the question in sentence. Okay, any questions? Okay, so please raise your hand if you're ready to move on to B. And I'll let you try question B to go as far as you can. Okay, maybe we'll check up to the function, right? Don't change the standard form yet. Just go up to the function, the like on the left side, the highlighted part. Okay. Like go up to the green star. You see the left side, you have green star. Okay, see if you can get to there for the question B. Okay, any questions about first one? If not, please raise your hand. All right, so you don't need to make a table like before now, okay? So we're gonna start with the last statement. Okay, and then try to get the function. And then we should have space to put in sentence at the bottom, okay? So please raise your hand after you got to the function, okay? Just the beginning of the function. And can I have Aaron to read the question out for us?
The sum of two natural numbers is 12. Their product is a maximum.
Yes, okay, very good. So this time we have, instead of difference, we have sum, right? That's our first sentence. And instead of maximum, we want the product to be minimum. So that's our second sentence. Okay, the thing you want to make it maximum is still product. Okay, so you have product. You still have two numbers, right? First number and second number. Okay, if there's any steps in question A you are not clear, like how we did that, let me know, okay? Okay, so what is natural numbers? Okay, anybody can answer that? Does anyone know what is?
It's like a number that has no decimals or like to the power of. It's just like 8, 2, 1, 12. Yeah.
Okay, and can it be negative?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, can it be 0?
Yeah.
Okay, so natural number actually it does not include 0. So it's called natural because that's the natural way we count, right? When you
Oh,
try to
okay.
count the chairs, you will say 1 chair, 2 chair, right? You won't say 0 chair, 1 chair, right? So you always start with 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's why it's called natural numbers. Okay, if you found the function, please raise your hand. Okay, Isabella, what's the last statement you have?
I'm still a little confused.
Which part? For question A?
Yeah. Not for B.
Okay, A is okay.
Yeah. I
Okay.
get A.
Yeah, so for question B is the same. The last statement are the same. So what are the last statement?
So then let product equal to Y.
Yeah,
And then the first number equals to M.
yeah,
Second number equals to N.
that's right. Okay, it's all the same because it also product, right? Also talking about the sum of two numbers. So it's N and N, okay? So how do you translate the first sentence? It tells you sum of two numbers is 12. How do you write that out?
So the answer of 2 addition, wait. Oh, you can write like 2 plus 3 equals 2.
We want the two numbers to add up to 12, right?
Yeah.
So your last statement says, what are the two numbers? What did you use to represent the two numbers?
M and N.
Yeah, so you want them to add up equal to 12. So how do you write it?
Y equals to M plus N.
No Y, we're not using Y. Just the first sentence.
Oh, then this M plus N.
Yeah, M is the first number plus the second number has to equal what?
12.
12, okay? This is just translating the sentence into variables, okay?
Yeah.
Right? And then the other sentence, it tells you the product. Product means what?
The answer of a multiplication.
Okay, and what are we multiplying together?
The two M and N.
Yeah, so Y equals to what times what?
M times N.
Yeah, two product, right? Two numbers, their product. So this is product. Product is the first number times the second number, right? We're basically just translating the sentence. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So after that, you just, from the right-hand side, you isolate one of the variable. So you can either isolate the M or isolate the N, okay? Once you isolate it, you plug it back into the equation. So which one do you want to isolate?
M.
Okay, how do you isolate the M?
You're right, M equals to 8 plus 4. Or wait.
8? Where did you get the 8? You're looking at the right side, this part.
I'm not sure.
You see that M plus N equal 12, right?
Yeah.
So we want to isolate one of them. You could isolate the M. So keep the M by one side on the left side. So N has to go.
No, so 12 minus N.
Yeah. Okay. So you just write M equals to 12 minus N. Okay.
Okay.
So this 12 minus N, you can use it to replace the M. So then you don't have so many variables in the equation. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can put it in by yourself. Okay, how's the rest of you? Okay, we only have 2 people raising their hands. Are you guys so stuck? Okay, you can raise your hand once you got the function. Okay, you don't need to expand yet, just get the function after you turn it into 2 variables. Okay, so Jenny, what's your function look like now?
Y equals to bracket 12 minus N bracket times N.
Yeah, very good. Okay. So right now we are at the step of this yellow highlighted. Okay, try to compare question B and A. Okay, we are at the green star. So after that, it's just algebra. Okay, you turn it into general form, and then you turn it into vertex form. Okay, and then we are going to figure out the vertex. All right. So I'll let you carry on from there. Please change it into standard form and then raise your hand. Okay, we'll check the standard form. But be careful here, we have negative signs, okay? So when you are doing the general form, make sure you put them in order first. And factor A, divide by 2, balance, okay? Be careful. All right, Bernice, what's your standard form?
I got negative, like outside of the bracket,
Mhm.
and then n minus 6, close bracket squared, plus 36.
Okay, thank you. Aaron, what's your standard form?
I got -1 and then bracket n plus 6 and then squared and then plus 36.
Okay, yeah, so -6 or +6, very important, okay? We need to find out which one. Hey, Geoffrey, have you got to here yet? Standard form?
Still working on it.
Okay. Let me know when you got it. I'll expand the bracket first, all right? So it'll be -n squared plus 12n. Okay, multiply the n in.
I got it.
Okay, what do you have?
Y equals 1n minus 6 squared plus 36.
One bracket n minus 6, like that?
Yeah,
Square?
squared plus
Okay.
36.
So no negative at the front?
No.
No, okay, all right, so let's check, all right? So we have 3 possibility here, okay? So first of all, we expand the n into the brackets. So you will get 12n minus n squared, but then we need to put it in order. So we move the -n squared to the front, okay? So this is our general. And then we follow the factor A divided by 2 balance. Our A is negative, so we need to factor the -1 out. When you factor the -1 out, whatever inside you need to divide by negative, right? So 12 divided by -1 will give you -6. Okay, and then plus divide by 2, so -3, right? Middle number divide by 2, square balance minus -3 squared times -1. Wait. Why do I write 6? I made a mistake. Should be 12, right? 12, right? And then this will be -6 and then -6. Okay, any questions? Let's move that away first. Okay, so now we grab the first one and the last one, put it in the bracket, okay? So it should become -1 on the outside and -6. Bracket square on the outside. Follow the order of operation, that should be 36. So you have -36 times -1. So it'll give you +36, okay? So that's your Q. All right, so correct answer should be the first one, okay? Inside should be -6, so be careful, because that will affect your step 3, right? So we have our vertex at 636. And based on our variable, right? The 6 is the n, 36 is the y. So n is the first number, n is the second number, right? Y is the product. And how do we get the first number? You can look at this one. M is the first number, right? M is 12 minus n. So M is 12 minus 6. Okay, so give you M is 6. So we found our two numbers. Okay, so when we write a sentence, we'll say the maximum value is 36 when two numbers are 6 and 6. Okay, so this is our final statement. Okay, for word problem, you must include your conclusion. Okay, you cannot just stop at vertex and then leave it. Okay, that doesn't show you found the two numbers. Any questions about how to do these two questions, two problems? Okay, can you raise your hand if you are okay with these two problems? Okay, I think the last two down here, we won't have time to cover it today. Okay, we'll leave it till next time. Okay, so for homework, you will get similar question like this. Okay, find the two numbers and product is either maximum or minimum. Okay, let's turn to the homework part. Okay, I'll show you which ones. So the ones that I will be assigning will be, remember today you have to find the equation, right? You got the clue and then you need to find the equation. So that's this part. Okay, this is on page 46. And then you also have question like these ones. Find the equation, right? By looking at the clue. And a few word problems, okay? So something like one, I think one. 1, 2, 3. 9. Yeah, okay. So 4 word problem like that, and then a few problem finding the equation. Okay. We'll look at harder ones once you are good at those ones first. Okay, that's next time. And then let's see. Okay, so later I'll post the question numbers on the Google Classroom. Okay, so that should be all for today. If you have questions about the word problem, you can stay after class. Okay, or about homework. All right, and I'll see you next week. Have a good weekend. And I still need homework from Wilson and Tony.
Yeah, I'm handing in it right now. Hang on.
Yeah. Okay, so see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you. See you
you.
next week.
So.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so Shanier, do you have questions?
Yeah.